On December 6, 2025, Valve announced the call to ARMORY. This was a new skin creation competition with 4 brand new collections planned for the CS2 ARMORY. Naturally, it was met with outrage because the community thought the rates Valve were paying were too low. But nonetheless, thousands of skins have been submitted to the workshop for the competition, and in this video, we're going to be having a look at the best ones to see what CS2's next skins update might end up looking like. Let's get into things. Now, this video is sponsored by Skinsmonkey, the trading site where you can quickly and easily trade your skins. Just log in, add your trade link, and you are good to go. All you have to do is select the items you want and hit the trade button. There's over 150,000 items to choose from, and if you use my code Zeus, you can get up to $5 off your first trade. And even if you're not interested in trading, the site holds free, daily, weekly, and monthly giveaways that you can enter completely for free. It's a great site. Check it out, link is in the description. So we've got 4 collections to check out. 2 of them are skins, 2 of them are stickers. Now, obviously we are much more interested in the skins rather than the stickers, but I did want to check out the lenticular submissions in the sticker collections first. There weren't that many, but the ones that were there were extremely cool. For the fruit stickers, we have this walking copyright violation, which would go extremely hard if it somehow turned out to be possible, and we also had these oddly suggestive anime girls featuring leaks. For the car theme stickers, we had this police siren sticker making pretty cool use of the effect, as well as several stickers going for the very obvious car driving down the road effect, which is pretty cool, but only one is likely to make it into the final collection, and I think competition for this spot will be fierce. Now, for the skins themselves, I decided to start with the Arab theme collection. The first skin I looked at was the Sultan's Gleam. This was a pretty standard sort of Eastern mosaic design, and the theme definitely checks out. It could definitely be a purple or something like that. The next skin I liked after this was the Red Genie, and it's certainly Arab. It's got an Arab guy, it's got a genie, which is also very Arab, but I do have to question its viability, partly because the Arab guy has a ridiculously hooked nose for some reason, but also because it kind of looks like a scene from an anime. On the more realistic end of the spectrum, we have the Eastern Legion. This is just an M4A1S with some Arabic style scribbles on it. Not mind-blowing, but perfect for a blue skin or something like that. Another interesting submission is the AK Rock, a very striking and very detailed design which I think could easily be pink or better. I wasn't quite sold on the Arab aspect of it though, but according to the artist, this eagle is from Arab mythology, so I guess I stand corrected. Next up, I had the Sword of Bahamut, and wait, isn't this a fucking album cover? Anyway, I was going to call this out for just being a whale rather than anything Arabic, but apparently Bahamut actually is a whale from Arab mythology that holds up the earth or something like that, so it checks out. We also have the Feather of God, which is not a terrible looking skin, but as chat pointed out, is basically an oligarch with a bit of blue, which probably isn't great for its chances. Next up, Flashbang. So we have this criminally bright skin called the Royal Gems. I'm not saying it's badly made, but I am saying I definitely like the darker version of it more, and other than that, it is a very nice 5/7. After this was the Falcon's Grasp, a skin that should be cool in theory, but in practice looks kind of a bit off to me. If you've got a theory on why, I'd love to hear it in the comments. Next up was a skin called the Desert Burn, which looks suspiciously like the gold arabesque without the gold. In all honesty, I think that probably makes it an improvement, although it probably won't help its chances of getting into the collection. Following this, I found a skin called the Urbu, a very striking looking AK, but unfortunately I also do think it looks kind of a bit like a stretched PNG. My chat did say it looked like a Van Gogh though, and the artist is Dutch, so there is that. And speaking of the gold arabesque, well, I also found a skin that was even more of a knockoff of it, called the Lord of the Desert. Now, again, I think this is actually a better skin than the original, but I also definitely don't think it's being added. It does have a silver version though, which maybe has a chance. We also have the USP Phallic. It's literally just a fucking snake, but I guess that counts as Arab themed, I suppose. After this was the Ifrit's Embrace, a fairly cool looking M4A4 skin based on an Arab demon from League of Legends by the look of things. Next up, Flashbang. Yeah, guys, stop making this so bright. Anyway, this one was called the Thoroughbred, featuring a stallion and a bunch of camels with sand dunes. So very Arab, and the skin also wears very aggressively, which I actually like. I like the fact there's a really worn version and a really clean version. Although apparently that's not actually an Arabian horse on it, which is kind of lame if it's true. We also had this thing, the Glock Manat, based on the Arabian goddess of death. It's not a bad skin either, but we've already got quite a few like it in the game, and those skulls are probably a deal breaker for China. Another interesting entry was this one, the Shamaran, or however you say it. I really like the aesthetic on this skin. We don't really have anything like it in the game, but unfortunately this particular mythological creature is Turkic, so that probably rules this one out. Now, another skin I really liked was this one, the Desert Herald, featuring a tropical bird that apparently lives in Arab countries, but also literally the entire rest of the world, so this may be stretching the definition a little bit. Still, I love the design. And finally, to end it off, I want to show a skin that is absolutely horrifying. A Zeus that is so over the top gold that it would make Saddam Hussein cringe. In fact, it's so bad I think it's kind of good. I genuinely think people would use this thing just because of how tacky it is. Now, at this point I was onto the spy skins, and I was really interested to see how people went with this one, since it's not really as clearly defined as Arab. And to be honest, I think the artists may have been struggling with this too, because there are a lot of designs like this one. It's called the New Horizon, and it's the perfect filler skin, but it's also not really spy themed in any meaningful way. And another good example of it is this thing, the Sword Off Router. A very cool idea, but again, it's not really spy related. The first skin I found that I felt really fit the description was the Smokescreen, a gnarly but very cool skin that's pretty self-explanatory. It's horrific, but horrific in a good way, and if it does somehow get into the game, I think it'll be a pink skin, and I suspect it will be very infamous. Another interesting design was the P90 Iridescent, a skin that apparently has alien technology integrated into it. It might be a bit of a stretch, but it's still a decent enough pearlescent skin that could be used as filler in the collection. These computer chip themed skins seem to be quite popular as well, with stuff like this Scout, for example, although I'm not sure if that is really what Valve's going for with this collection. Another approach I noticed people took was literally just to stick the word spy in their username, like this thing, the Desert Eagle Spy Carvin. I'm not sure if that really makes it a spy skin, but it is better than some of the stuff here. Something I did like a bit more though was the FAMAS launch control, and admittedly somewhat cringy, but at least thematically relevant skin that looks like it belongs in the plot of a Cold War era James Bond film. However, one of the most clever designs of all that I came across was actually the Scanline, which not only has a proper spy theme, but also comes in a crazy number of different finishes. This is just a really cool idea, and I hope it makes it. Sadly though, it does look a lot like the blueprint, and I do wonder if the artist should have tried a different color. After this one, there were a bunch of skins that looked cool, but didn't really fit the theme at all, at which point I found something else quite interesting, the Covert Kawi. This is a very nice looking design with a whole bunch of exotic markings on it, but again, we come back to the same problem. Is this a spy themed skin, or is it a skin whose author says it's spy themed? The next really interesting skin I came across was the ARMORY, a USP which is totally 100% a spy skin because the creator wrote an essay explaining why it's a spy skin. Legit though, this is cool, and I'd be happy to see something like it in the game. There's also the Obscura, a skin which dealt with the spy problem by just drawing them on it. Cool skin though. There's the Power Bank, a skin which doesn't really fit in with the competition, but it's such a neat idea I think it's worth showing anyway. And also the Stygian, which I think does the secret agent's weapon thing way more effectively than any other skin here, and I think would be really popular if it got added. And finally, we have the Iridescent, which again has pretty much nothing to do with spies, but hey, it's cool, so maybe we can pretend. All in all, it does seem like the artists are struggling a bit more with ideas for the spy themed skins. The Arab skins seem much more focused, even if some of them were Turkish instead, but still, there is some really cool stuff in here, and I think we're going to get some really cool final collections. But to close it out, I do have to say, fuck AI. Half the time I saw a skin here, I was having to second guess whether it was AI or not, and while I don't want to cast too many aspersions, I have my suspicions, and if you have yours, feel free to share them in the comments. Just don't harass the artist, keep it here. Anyway, that's pretty much it for this video. If you've enjoyed it, please like, comment, and subscribe, massively appreciated. Otherwise, trust the numbers, not your gut. I'm Hezeus, thanks for watching, see ya.